Hey guys, how is everybody? I am in Florida this week with my in-laws, and so I have still our weekly devotional for Thursday. So we are going to be in Psalms chapter 91. So if you open up to that, that is where we are. I'm going to begin. He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. You know, we talked last week about dwelling, right? And dwelling is to live in. Um, it's to be our life. Many people go to church once or twice a week, and for them that's their faith, that's their relationship with God. But we're called to dwell in, to live in the shelter of the Most High. And there's a blessing in that, and God tells us what that blessing is. I will say to the Lord, my refuge and my fortress, and my God in whom I trust, for He will deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the deadly pestilence. All throughout Scripture, the idea of snare has the same idea of sin or of temptation, right? And dwelling in the shelter means God's going to deliver us from this snare. And when we think about it, it's really true. Are you struggling with temptation? Maybe in the same thing, you can't quite get out of it. Get in the Word, be in prayer, dwell with God. Don't just be there once or twice a week. Dwell in Him all day, every day. The Bible then says, He'll cover you with His pinions, His wings. Verse 4, He will cover you with His pinions, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness is a shield and buckler. Since we've been in quarantine, I've been watching a ton of nature documentaries. There's this one Russian bird that literally builds a nest out of old animal hair and old like cotton, however they can find that. And it's one of the coolest looking nests I've ever seen. It's completely covered, it's completely sheltered, and this nest is so intricate. It can be hung from like one or two sticks hanging from a tree. But it's got a secret trap door inside of it where the bird will literally hide the eggs. It has a false door so predators don't know exactly where to go in. It has a second escape route. This nest is built so intricately. And when we think about this idea of God being like this bird protecting its young, you think about that Russian bird and how much that Russian bird protects its young. And we think about how much more God is willing to protect us. And God goes out of His way to protect us and to deliver us. If you're struggling with sin, with temptation, if you're struggling, with mental illness during all of this quarantine, cry out to God, call out to God, pray. Be in the Word. Just follow Him. Dwell in Him.